0-0, Man United against Hull. Points dropped against the side bottom of the fucking Premier League. That obviously dropped points. Arsenal lost. City obviously spanked West Ham. You see Man United going at home against Hull City. Side bottom of the Premier League. Poverty football from a club that is rich on the pitch with quality on paper. But we saw such a lack of quality tonight against Hull that it's embarrassing. It truly is. It's not the first time this season where our poor finishing and a decent goalkeeping performance we've come undone with it at Old Trafford. Burnley is the one that steps out, but we played much better in that Burnley game. First half against first 70 minutes against Hull. United was shite. There is no other way you can describe it. Then we started to get into the game. And then Hull's goalkeeper, Jankovic, whatever his name is, made a few blinding saves. Juan Mata misses his second effectively open goal in as many weeks. And Man United we start pumping on the door. We start knocking it. But every time we go forward, Hull knock it back. And they had the two best chances. Obviously Mata aside, two of the best chances of the game. Markovic hits the post. And then Hernandez breaks and could have scored as well. But on an occasion where Man United could have gone 2 points off second, I believe, by winning tonight, on a game week where everybody above us dropped points, we dropped points. You know, do Man United really want to finish in that top four this season? Because from that performance, they really fucking don't. I'm going to run through a few of your comments right here before I keep talking about it a bit more here. Claude saying Jose is shooting himself in the foot by not playing Anthony Martial. One thing I've definitely got to say here is Mourinho's talking about how Mkhitaryan, he has to play him. He can't drop him. I saw nothing from Rashford or Mkhitaryan that tells me that Martial's not getting into that team against Leicester at the weekend. You know, Hull were there for the taking. Hull were disciplined in defence, just like so many teams have been at Old Trafford this season. But they weren't fucking good. They're bottom of the Premier League. Of course they're not good. We gave them way too much respect. Ibrahimovic, I don't know what he was doing. He kept dropping way too deep. And because he was dropping so deep, whenever Valencia got the ball, whenever Blin got the ball down the left, he wasn't in the box. He wasn't there on the end of the headers. All of a sudden, United's players start going down in the box way too easy. Carrick going off at half-time wasn't the worst decision, but the thing it did take away was Herrera being further up the pitch because he was winning the ball high up the pitch with his intense pressing. But I just can't believe that United, this is not the first time this has happened this season. Man United have had an opportunity, a real opportunity to gain points on more than one club above us in the table, and we haven't fucking taken it. I'm sorry if I'm swearing a few times, but I just find it so frustrating that you can't do it at home against Hull. We've played Hull 3 times now in the last 2 weeks. The team bottom of the Premier League. Did I mention that before? We won 2-0 at Old Trafford. We lost 2-1 away in the second leg of the EFL Cup. And now we've drawn 0-0. We have scored 3 goals in 3 games against the worst team in England, in the Premier League at the moment. What are you doing? You know, we go away to Leicester at the weekend. Leicester have been bad this season, but you never know, they might turn up in that game. I just can't believe, for a team that is so rich in quality, how much we lacked that quality in the final moments when we needed it the most. Juan Mata there. Pogba had a few shots. You know, there's no individual. Rojo had a header that he could have made a little bit more of, but it was more in the lack of the chance creation today rather than the chances not being taken. Their keeper made a few decent saves, but all too often United broke down and had possession without penetration. It was like watching Van Gaal at times. It really was. And I'm not harking back to the days saying that United are playing like Van Gaal now under Mourinho. But you saw it there. You saw us have control of the game, 68, 70% possession, control of the ball, getting towards the edge of Hull's box where they're sitting with 2 banks of 4 or a 5 and a 4 with 1 up front, and we couldn't break it down. And that's happened a lot of the times this season. But we've got the quality in there. We've got Herrera's ball to Mkhitaryan in the second minute, straight through the lines. Obviously, it didn't lead to a goal, but I just cannot believe the distinct lack of quality that Man United have got in front of goal this season. Goals have been our biggest problem. Finishing has been our biggest problem. And, you know, yes, I could talk about the referee, because Niasse should have got sent off. I think there was a few other really fucking odd decisions that he made, but I'm not going to, because that's just trying to hold on to an excuse which is not there. It's all about how United played tonight, or how they didn't play. Because Hull, they didn't play well. They hit on the counter-attack once or twice towards the end and got a couple of opportunities. Other than that, they were camped in their own half. But United made it comfortable for them. They didn't need to press us high up the pitch, because as soon as you got to the edge of it, a little bit of press, staying disciplined, nothing happened. Antonio Valencia's crosses into the box were good, but nobody got onto the end of them. Ibrahimovic kept going with a high foot. Oh, for fuck's sake. I just can't believe that United really, at half-time, what did Mourinho say? Look, lads, Spurs have dropped points. Chelsea have, Liverpool have, Arsenal have. What are you doing? Do you want to finish in this top 4 this season? Because if we truly want to finish in this top 4, they've got to do something about it. With other teams dropping it, it's not the be-all and end-all. But opportunities, when you're sitting in 5th or 6th place, I think we're 6th at the moment, United need opportunities to get further up that table, to make that difference in the points. And tonight is the golden opportunity to gain 2 points on Arsenal. I can't even ask fucking talk about it. I just cannot believe that United have let this happen again. And up until the 70th minute, the players didn't give a shit about it either. There wasn't a real... First 10 minutes, we had a good tempo. We started with a nice tempo. That tempo disappeared. As soon as Hull got comfortable in the game and comfortable in their defensive shape, Man United couldn't do anything to break it down. And I just cannot believe that there was such a distinct lack of quality from a team which has so much quality inside it. And it's not down to the manager's tactics. It's down to the individuals. At that moment in time, Mourinho has got the players playing how he wants them to play. And it's up to the players themselves in the final third. A manager can't do anything about finishing. A manager can't do anything about chance creation. When it comes to the individual there in the final third, they have to make it happen. No Man United player made it happen tonight. Phil Jones went off with an injury as well. Hopefully that wasn't too serious, but I just can't believe we've seen this again from United at Old Trafford. A frustrating draw. Stoke, Burnley, West Ham, Arsenal, Liverpool. It's just happened all too often this season, to the point where you can't say it's unlucky anymore. You can't say it's a one-off. It's like whenever we used to score late goals, underneath Ferguson, everybody called it luck. It wasn't luck, because we did it so often. We made it a habit. And Man United are making this frustrating draw concept a really unwanted habit. And they're doing it consistently in big games like this against Hull, where we can gain so much in the Premier League. As I said, it doesn't change anything in the scope of the Premier League, because everybody's dropped points above us. But this week may as well not have existed. We've now got to go to Leicester and hope to win there, and hope that the other teams drop points again. It's just silly from United. A real big opportunity missed. And it's fucking frustrating, because it's not the first time this has happened this season. Let me know how you're feeling about it. There's lots and lots of comments coming through. Everyone's going to be frustrated after that. Understandably so. But we're going to have to move on to Leicester and hope we can do something different there. But from what I've seen in these last 2 games, Wigan and Hull, both awful first 45 minutes. We came alive in the second half against Wigan. We came alive from the 70th minute against Hull, but we couldn't break them down. In part due to a decent goalkeeping performance, but majority of the blame lies at the feet of all of Man United's players, because they did not play well enough. As I said, leave your comments below. Drop a like on the video if you want to. Subscribe to United People's TV if you're new. Little subscribe button in the corner there. Make sure you click that. And we'll have more reaction from Old Trafford later on tonight, so make sure you check that out too. But from the live, immediate reaction, see you later.